Hey, this is David at Richter Scale Studios. I'm finally getting my Anycubic i3 Mega back together. It's never broken down, prints perfectly, but it makes noise, and I wanted to change some aesthetics on the Hotend. So this is what I first did. This is the metal Hotend and fan shroud. Resonates noise. It blocks your line of sight from your first layers, which is kind of annoying. I do accept it on my Prusa, but that is a Prusa. I don't want to screw with it. So I went to Thingiverse. I found these parts. This is all printed ABS from Paramount 3D. We have iron red and Castle limestone gray. I did some editing on this side by hand. The cover here, there was not enough screw holes to fit it in because the one holds a fan. It goes into here with a, I guess that's an M2. So I put some shallow holes just for aesthetic reasons, and it matches the Hotend fan shroud on that side. Sorry about the lack of light. So now I can see the M5 printing out first layers. I didn't want to change anything here because I do like the performance. And then the other thing I did, I even practiced or did a little bit of modding before I decided to change the fans. This is notoriously a loud fan inside, and those are all my salsa cups with the parts that I keep for different sections of the printer. So this is significantly quiet. I used some, you ever line your drawers or cupboards with this stuff? I made a little gasket for the screws, so it's got a metal bracket that just vibrates. So these are these solid metal things. It just resonates noise. It's still loud, but not too bad. But I'm going to change it out anyways. And then these fans are notorious for going out, so I'm changing it out and putting a quieter, more reliable fan. So these are the fans I'm putting in. These are G-lids from Amazon. I'll have links down below. This is slightly thicker 50mm fan, very, very quiet. And this is a 60mm by 15 that'll be going inside the PSU. Very quiet. They put out a nice little bit of air. One problem with these, all the wires are black. Luckily I have a rework station. I have links to that too because I think I bought that off Amazon. I'll put a link to it. I had to rebuild some of the cables and things on it. They're a little flimsy, but it does work great. You can see I have it on the power thing so I can test where the power is because these are polarity sensitive. So what I did was cut the wires. There's also a control wire. Cut it all down. We can see in here. I did some red shrink tubing on one. So we have our positive lead, then we have our negative or ground. And then I did another piece of black shrink tube on top of that. So it just gives a nice clean look. And then I have, this is a new box. This came in plastic bags. These are JSTHXH 2.5 2Ps. This is what you usually see in your boards plugging in, like right there. So I have these ready to go. I'm going to do these off camera. These are not easy to do. Use the correct tool. I recommend this. I keep it in the box. I don't want to get dinged up. This is a nice, really connector pliers. I'll put a link to that also. So I'm going to come back. I'll put this all together and then have this thing running again, which it has not been running in literally months. Okay, we're back. So I got them together. Terminals, I had one little mistake. Actually turned it into two. I crimped something wrong. And left it on the table, picked it up and put another wire in it and crimped it together. It looked good, but then I couldn't get the wire into the metal terminal. So the way I test these, you can see it put together here. There's the fan over in the background. These are these actually come with the terminals in the box if you're going to have to put them in your own board. But obviously I'm just switching these out. So I'm just going to plug it in. And I believe this is the PSU fan. This is the bigger one. And I can see over here I have the red wire going in. So it'll be on the right side, and the negative or ground will be on the left. And then I'm just going to touch these. I got in the background, I have power at 11.8 volts. That's enough to get it going. And yay, we're going. We're good. And I already have the smaller motherboard fan. And here's that fan. Same setup with the helping hand. And we got air. Nice. So I'm going to switch these in real quick, and I'll show you the sound difference from the first section of the video of the main motherboard. The PSU fan, it's going to be a lot quieter because this is a cheap PSU. but I don't know how I can get it going or not. We'll turn everything on. Everything attach. The PSU fan, I can't get the PSU on unless we like really pull some power off of it. But the motherboard cooling fan, big difference. You can barely hear it. It's putting out some good air. It's going to suck in from here and below down, obviously. And I'm adding another thing to the printer to kind of help that along. With no motion sickness. There's the bottom plate, and those are squash ball feet. So I'm going to raise it up another 1 3/4, so I have more air circulating around. And that's also a nicely made item. You got a lot of ventilation, and since it'll be off the table a little bit more, that'll help. So I'm going to put this together, and we'll get this thing running and get some printing on it. Okay, we're going to end the video here. Everything is working great. I want to show you how you can see a first layer being put down, almost perfect. And this is all manual bed leveling. That's amazing. And able to see it going down, so you can catch it right away if something's going haywire on it. So the open face thing, I'll put, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'll put links below to it. And the other thing I did to this was put a little bit of insulation on it. My understanding, the original Anycubic i3 Mega had a thinner build plate but thicker aluminum. So now with the thinner aluminum, its ability to hold heat is a lot less. So hopefully that'll help, especially with doing ABS. I do small parts on here, nothing big because it's not in an enclosure. And what was another thing I did on here? Oh, this is amazing. In the first part of the video when I had the gantry on the office chair, I had an ABS bracket kind of like this with basically an ABS dowel that I used as a spool holder. Worked great, but it has drag on it. And this item is a remix I did from Filler Spool Holder. It's another Thingiverse item. I'll put links to that and the bearings. This is all done in PETG. This is Matter Hacker Red. This is eSun Black. Very good. And another thing why I did this has a filament sensor that goes in, and the original one would have a little bit of drag, and probably what I understand, not probably, what I understand, less drag your machine has, it's going to make it last longer, and I'll give you a little better quality in your prints. So that is an amazing little upgrade. These are originally designed for the Creality family, as you can see there. That they have different brackets in nuts form, so that goes right on the Ender 3 factory bracket. They make them for the Prusa family, but I printed that. That's another bearing solution. I printed that out before I even got the machine, and it's working great for me, so there's no reason to change it. But I love on the Ender 3, it's helped tremendously too. You can hear it doesn't sound the same when it's not dragging on the spools. So that is it according to that. But I want to show you another thing about the quality things putting out. This is even before, I mean, this puts it out all the time. Very consistent. This is a model called the Greenskin Tower by Corvus Terrain. And this is the bottom portion. We're putting out the roof. This is the ladder. And then we're doing the midsection on the Prusa Mark III to get this thing done a little quicker. And I'll probably do a little video on this also. So this is obviously an orc type terrain piece, and inexpensive brown PLA from eBay. I'll put links to that. You can see it there. It's kind of like not really a chocolate, more like a rust brown. It's got a lot of red to it. But look at the quality this thing puts out. Now 0.2 layer height, 60 millimeters a second, simplified 3D stock profile on it, and this amazing quality it puts out. Very consistent. I bought this thing for $320, I believe, in February on their eBay store. I made an offer to it. They took it, and no, it was a bid. I bid on it and got it that. I see now they're around $269, $270, and taking offers. I mean, this machine is not that old, but if you need something really consistent and it's reasonably affordable, it's, I mean, solid construction. Like an M3, but not quite. I mean, it's got the same mechanics, smooth rods with smooth bearings, way more rigid than anything else out there. It's something to consider. So I'll put links below to that. As usual, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video.